You guys are muted. The commissioners' conference room is muted.
Can you hear us now?
Okay. That's better.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rockingham County Commissioners Meeting of April 27th, 2023. In attendance, we go to Zoom first. We have Commissioner Coyle from a warm place. We have, I don't know who's on the end there. My eyes are failing me. We have Allison Karakoski in Zoom. We have Catherine Mann. We have Kathy Stacy. We have Pat Conway, but it looks like some people are frozen. Just see. Can you guys hear me?
It froze again.
No, we're frozen again. Okay, sorry, everybody, for those technical difficulties. I apologize. So in Zoom, we have Commissioner Coyle. We have our Sheriff Chuck Sayers. We have Allison Karakoski. We have Catherine Mann. We have Kathy Stacy, Jason Smith, Pat Conway, Major Banfield, and I think that's it. Here in the room with us, we have Chuck Nickerson, we have Layla Matila, we have Commissioner Gadu, and myself. So, good morning, everybody. We're going to start with the land records, registry of deeds motion. Chief.
Here you go. Good morning. I move to award the proposal for land records to Fiddler Technologies for a 5-year life cycle agreement beginning July 1st, 2023 for an amount not to exceed $34,814 for year 1, $35,858 for year 2, $36,934 for year 3, $38,042 for year 4, and $39,183 for year 5, and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Register of Deeds.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Kathy, you've used them. We've used Fiddler for a while, and things have functioned well, right?
Yes, absolutely. They do a great job. I'm very pleased with them. Very pleased. Thank you.
Okay, on the motion, Commissioner Coyle.
Yes.
Commissioner Godu.
Yes.
I will vote yes. Web hosting online access or registry of deeds.
Yes, I move to award the proposal for web hosting online access to Fiddler Technologies for a 5-year investment plan for an amount not to exceed $60,000 per year beginning July 1st, 2023 through July 30th, 2028, and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Register of Deeds.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on this one? If
Can I
not,
just,
yep,
can I just say it needs to be through June 31st, not July 30th.
June 31st?
The end date. I just want to make sure the end date is for June 30th.
Okay, so
What
it
is that?
2028. Thank you.
says July 1st. Oh, beginning June.
July 1st
Yeah,
to June 30th.
Yeah, June 30th, 2028.
Yes. For some reason, I thought that Commissioner Coyle said July 30th.
July 1st to June 30th, 2028.
Thank
If there
you.
was any confusion.
Thank you.
All right, on the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
I vote yes. Network switches,
I move to table the award for the network switches RFP.
motion's been made. Do I hear a
Second.
And seconded, there's no discussion on the table in motion. On the motion, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Godu,
Yes.
I vote yes. Contracted prosecution services, Sheriff's Office,
I move to award the proposal for contracted prosecution services to Ventura Law LLC for an amount not to exceed $60,000 annually for a contract period of May 1st, 2023 through May 31st, 2025, and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents and further authorize utilization of ARPA funds for the cost as recommended by the High Sheriff.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more about how this works and specifically what's gonna happen in following years when we don't have ARPA funds.
Okay, Sheriff, you want to answer that question? I don't see Major Bashar here at all either, right?
On vacation this week. Is Catherine's on, right?
Catherine, yeah. You want to answer
Yep.
that?
I'm here. Yeah, so right now we're looking at a 36-month contract period. The hope is that at the end of that 36 months, see how things go and take a look at this and see if it's something that I know there's been discussions with Pat's office about, potentially adding a staff member later on or having her assist us. I think right now her load was just too much to be able to assist us at this time. So we looked to this, utilizing some of the ARPA money set aside for the county attorney's office to help get us by with prosecution because we're kind of inundated at the moment. So that's kind of our goal for the moment is
Right.
do this for the 36 months and then take a look, see how things are going, evaluate, work with the county, other offices and see if that's something that we can either bring back in-house or if we should continue, with a contract.
And a lot of our cases too, Steve, they land out in Stratford County. So if we used, and we did talk to Pat about this, and she was all in favor of doing sometimes a lot of like drug cases end up in Stratford County where she couldn't prosecute them. So, I mean, and there's a lot of cases that out there that are extremely difficult, and it's just something that we really need to do right now. And that's what we did the research on it.
But this is only for district court prosecution, correct? This is only going to be district court prosecution, correct?
Yes.
And it's only a 24-month contract, right? Not 36?
Right, May 1st, 2023 to May
Yeah.
30th, 2025.
I mean, it's just over, it's 25, essentially it's 25 months.
Yeah.
Right. It's Commissioner Coyle, it's everything that I know you and Major Bashaw had
Yeah.
a comment on it. Everything that the two of you talked about, that's what we're going for. I'm not 100% sure. So.
And maybe I can add some more clarification. What we talked about for Commissioner Godu, because we did, I think the idea is let's fill this gap for now. And then at the end of the 24 months, we'll have a better handle of what the needs are at the county attorney's office with felonies first. I think that there aren't so many cases in Stratford County that we couldn't seek help prosecution should those cases come up. But in the interim, this is a good stopgap while we figure out the needs from the changes in felonies first, let that settle out, and then reassess probably in a year's time or maybe, 18 months about the needs going forward.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna add that the line in the ARPA funds we put in originally was $800,000. This reflects 120,000. I'm sorry, 120,000, yeah. And so we have to expend the funds, the ARPA funds for a certain time. This made sense. We're not hiring an employee, we're using ARPA money and we're using a third-party vendor, so it makes sense to me. But any other discussion? Not on the motion, Commissioner Coyle?
I'm going to abstain from voting just because I know the bidders. So I don't think I have a potential conflict, so I'm going to abstain from voting.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Godu?
Yes,
And I vote yes. So 2, 0, 1. Okay, consent agenda.
I move to approve the April 13th, 2023 non-public minutes and the April 20th, 2023 public and non-public meeting.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. On the motion, Commissioner Godu?
yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
And I vote yes. I
And
apologize.
then
Asked if anyone had any additions or subtractions, but it didn't sound like anybody did, so motion 2?
I move to amend the timeframe of the sealed April 6, 2023 session number 2 non-public meeting minutes to indefinitely because it's determined the divulgence of the information likely would affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion or anything on that motion? If not, on the motion, Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Mr. Godu?
yes.
I will vote yes. In our packets, the adult medical daycare payout report, it's, they want to make comment at all on that?
Well, I'm happy to report that we have on the agenda a few more, some new participants for adult medical daycare. So that's good.
Yes, absolutely. Payroll.
I move to approve the remainder of the consent agenda, which includes a payroll expense in the amount of $1,611,347.97 for the period ending April 22nd, 2023.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. On the motion, Commissioner Godu?
yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we're on to liaison reports. Commissioner Coyle, I'll let you go first.
I'm actually going to let the department head speak this week because, for efficiencies.
Commissioner Godu, do you have anything?
No, I have nothing.
What do I have? Usually I take this time to think about what I had, but I guess I'll let my department heads just explain their side of things. So I will say one thing. Back in September, we were trying to get Eversource to give us the go-ahead for the solar, and it's just been very slow. I think I had mentioned that I had reached out to Eversource in Connecticut in the last meeting, and I have not heard back. So I did contact Representative Bose, who is the head of science and technology at the State House. Explained to him what was going on to see if I could have help out in any way. It just so happened that he was going into a meeting in Concord Monday, and at that particular meeting, the government staffer or government director of Eversource was going to be there. So he said he would bring that up. So I haven't heard back from him yet, but I'll keep everybody posted when I hear something on that. I think that's it for me. So we'll go on to the Moose Plate grant application.
I move to approve the letter of intent to apply for the 23-24 New Hampshire State Library Conservation License Plate Grant Program for historical document preservation as recommended by the Senior Director of Finance.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, on the motion, Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
yes.
I vote yes. Thank you.
And-
Motion.
Upon approval from the state of New Hampshire of the letter of intent, I move to approve applying for the 2023-2024 New Hampshire State Library Conservation License Plate Grant and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Senior Director of Finance.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Not?
I'm just excited to have these records available electronically. If anything, we've seen with the, with the Registry of Deeds, making those records accessible to the public electronically is absolutely fantastic. And I know the registry, Kathy's done a great job with the AVA program. So, it really just makes more access to the community. So I think that we're working towards the same thing here is wonderful.
Great. On the motion, Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
yes.
I vote yes. Long-term care services, adult medical daycare, retroactive grant request.
I move to approve an adult medical daycare grant dated February 27th, 2023 to Silverthorne for an additional client KM and authorize retroactive payment to include the month of March 2023 as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Not on the motion, Commissioner Godu?
yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Vote yes. Second, adult medical daycare grant request.
I move to approve an adult medical daycare grant dated April 24th, 2023 to Silverthorne for an additional client AM as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, on the motion, Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
yes.
I vote yes. A line item transfer request, Sheriff's Office.
I move to approve a line item transfer request in the amount of $6,700 dated April 20th, 2023, transferring from the Sheriff's Deputies line to the staff salary line as recommended by the High Sheriff.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I do.
Go ahead, Commissioner Coyle.
So is this just to get you through the rest of the year? And then how does this work with the, I guess, what exactly is this for and how much will this get you through the rest of the year?
Yeah.
So,
Good.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Sheriff. Yes, so this is just to get us through the remaining few payrolls of the year. Our staff line came up just a little bit short. But we have sufficient funding in the deputies line to be able to carry over that little bit to get us by through the end of the year.
Okay, further discussion? If not, on the motion, Commissioner Godu?
Yes,
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes,
I vote yes. Very good. Department head updates. I'm gonna start with Chuck Nickerson.
As usual, very busy, always when it's the month after quarter end, so still dealing with, different, quarterly report deadlines, whether for grants or for, related, as far as payroll, taxes, the 141 taxes to Maine, Mass, the feds. We just, issued out or gave to Cheryl Hurley yesterday the third quarter budget review packet, so we will be emailing out to the department heads and their, the regular individuals as far as a Adobe PDF version of that budget review packet. Just a reminder, that meeting is next Friday, 9:30 a.m. in the Hilton Auditorium, so May 5th. We obviously continue well, actually, what's been going on now too, is since the commissioner's budgets went out, some departments might have already been contacted about coordinating meetings with their subcommittee chairs. So some of those meetings are indeed happening as early as, well, next Monday or next Tuesday. So again, we'll have these subcommittee meetings going on, I guess now instead of 2 weeks, it'll be like 3 weeks. But then there'll be the subcommittee proposed budget presentation to the executive committee on May 26th. So that's some more immediate dates going on regarding the FY 2024 budget. Again, just overall, just busy as usual. Thank you.
Good. Thanks, Chuck. I'm gonna go with Jason Smith.
Good morning,
Jason.
Commissioners.
Morning.
Good morning. As we continue with our COVID monitoring, we have no new cases to report this week. We continue with low transmission levels throughout Rockingham County, and we maintain moderate. So overall, everything is fine with that. We've recently held a COVID clinic. We had 8 individuals participate this week. We also had a on-site infection control for the state of New Hampshire with Granite State Health Care Coalition, which was well received, and it was hands-on training for a full day. So our staff was very happy to participate in that. In addition to that, our new mechanical lifts for each unit is up and running for the staff to use. What's really nice about this is that we've had 7 different models and styles of patient care lifts. So each one every staff member had to learn how to use each lift, which, as you can see, especially having a lot of agency staff, can really be an issue. So with consistency, the same lift is used universally throughout the community. And I just want to say thank you for allowing us to purchase all these new lifts. Adult Day, we have been really working with them and reaching out and partnering. So just last week, I reported that with senior class, we've made several attempts to reach out to the director there. We just found out that the director is no longer with the organization and they're in a lurch right now without notice given, so he is no longer there. With that being said, we did, Jessica Wendell provided any services or support for them. They're kind of reestablishing and recruiting for senior class. Silverthorne, they're very happy with the authorization that you approved last week, and so they're very ecstatic about that. In addition, we will all see increased numbers moving up, I would say, through the next year, especially with Easter Seals, as Easter Seals transfers from a part-time program to a full-day program. So I'm really excited to see the progress with that. We continue with survey prep and getting ready for our mock survey. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Sheriff, sales.
Good morning. We had a new dispatcher start this week, and she's in training. Business as usual, continue to be busy and And that's about it, really. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Catherine Mann if she has anything to add since we're on the show.
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, all right, Kathy Stacy. Morning.
Morning. First, thank you for awarding those bids. I appreciate it. It's always nice to have something that is, obviously more than a year so that we don't have to worry about it. Our numbers continue to decline money-wise, which we understood was going to happen anyway. But I will tell you that we're doing a plan project where we're redoing all of the older, it's about 40,000 000 plans that we're indexing. We've already got 8,000 of those done. Staff is working very hard at that project. Other than that, I am meeting today with Senator Pearl and Senator Birdsell. The other day I met with Senator Innes with regards to NHAC, whether it's the nursing home issues or the retirement system issues. So that's my report. Thank you.
Kathy. Let's go to Major Van.
Good morning. The head count's 144 currently. We have a carpet project going on. We're going to be finished a day earlier than we anticipated. Officer Evans, per usual, is a rock star and was able to help them out and get things moving. So I had 3 new employees start on Monday, 3 new officers, and I have 3 more in the pike. They just need polygraph. We can have them start after this training cycle. So I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Department, the High Sheriff. The hospital coverage has been out of control. Just, infirm people, a lot of drug issues and things like that. So coverage at the hospital has been very, very busy, and his department has done it graciously and helped us out. So I really appreciate that. Also, I know Jude's not here right now, but her department's help with we're moving our mentally ill housing from booking up to AB. And so that requires a lot of layout change, doors and a lot of hardware. So she's been fantastic in her department doing that. So just pretty much the teamwork that this county has exhibited. And I speak with my counterparts in other counties, and it's not nearly as cohesive as ours. So proud. So thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Major. Gonna go to Pat Conway, our county attorney.
Good morning, everybody. It was Administrative Assistant Day yesterday, so Layla, happy Administrative Assistant Day. Thank you for everything that you do for us. It's really busy here. Where trials are really fast and furious right now. I feel like we're really seeing COVID right now, trying those older cases. So it's been pretty crazy. But things are going well. Unfortunately, I did have one of my lead attorneys give me a resignation letter. It's the attorney who just returned from leave, accepted a position. That was a really good opportunity for him. So unfortunately, he'll be leaving the office, and we're posting that position. The good news is the assistant county attorney position we have open. We just interviewed someone yesterday who has about 5 or 6 years of experience out of state, but still prosecutorial experience. So we're excited about getting an offer out to her. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
Allison, you just disappeared and came back. What's going on?
Hi, how are you? Good morning, everyone. The wellness activities are going out. I heard the chair massages have been a success, and everybody has been very pleased with being able to partake in that. I know we have a number of other items that are rolling out as we speak. I've been making the benefit connections with our carriers. They're ongoing as we prepare for our annual open enrollment. So those are underway, and I am preparing for an unemployment appeals hearing that will take place next week. It's been canceled twice now, so I hope that this is the 3rd time as the charm, as they would say, so that we can get this completed and filed away. So that's all we have, and I look forward to seeing everyone shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. I go to Leila to see if she's got anything that she wants to share.
I'm all set, thank you.
You're all set?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go to new business. I didn't forget anybody, did I? No. New business. Anybody with new business? Commissioner Godu?
Last week, we signed the GMP for the Harvey construction contract and approved it immediately with no opportunity for me to review it. One of the comments that was made by Bill Smith, the president of Harvey Construction, was that our lawyers had already reviewed the contract. So since I hadn't seen it in advance, I'm questioning if in fact we did have a lawyer review the contract. And if we did, I would like to seek out the documentation that they reviewed and see if there were comments or approvals or anything on that topic whatsoever. So I'm hoping that Leila can find that documentation, or maybe somebody can confirm for me whether or not those documents were reviewed by any of our lawyers.
And Jude's not here to answer anything. I don't, does anybody wish to comment at all? No, we'll wait for Jude and see what we can do for you. Any other new business? Hearing none. Any old business? No. Okay, so public comment. Is there anybody from the public? I didn't see anybody on there, but I'm calling for public comment.
Borowski's request.
Oh, yeah. Let me get this. I did get a request from Jason Gorosky. Let me find that. Thanks for reminding me. So Jason Gorosky is requesting use of the Hilton on May 20th. For a training session. He's not really specific as to what the training is, between 8 AM and 12 o'clock. And he's saying possibly 30 people. And he's asking if he can use that facility. So I just told him that I would bring that up at the commissioners meeting for a discussion. So if anyone has any comments that they would, that's fine. Commissioner Godu.
I spoke with Jason about the event. It is strictly training. It is, I think it's an appropriate use of the facility. I think that, they're also aware of the somewhat disturbance that happened at last time the RCRC, Republican, County Committee had, met there. And he'll be sure that that does not repeat itself. Also, I'll note that for many years previous to that, that group has met in the Hilton without incident. Being a Saturday morning, I don't think it's disruptive, and I think it's a perfectly appropriate use for the Hilton. And I'd move to approve the request.
Commissioner Coyle, do you have anything you want to add?
What is the, Commissioner Godu, what is the training for?
It's the Republican Committee training for dealing with the press.
Okay. And is there, are they, in terms of who is leading the training?
I don't have that detail, except that it's Jason Gorosky's event, so I assume that he's leading the meeting. He'll
Okay.
be.
And did you say it's a Saturday morning? That was one of my concerns with parking and accessibility.
Yes, Saturday morning.
And I guess, Jason, do you want to weigh in at all? In terms of the impact on the community?
Yes, I think in my conversation with Commissioner Godu, I did express what occurred last time and concerns around that. He did not have all the information about the training. The room is available for use, and I said just as long as we have rules of engagement that protect the residents, as this is the residents' home, that room can be used for whatever the commissioners choose to do with it. But I just ask that we be respectful of the residents.
I think a bigger, I mean, I think that given that it's a Saturday and, you know, it's fairly limited in numbers, it sounds like. I don't have too much of I think it's, you know, appropriate use. However, I do think we should talk about putting, you know, establishing a set of rules that anyone who uses it is, you know, who's ever asking to use the space that signs and agrees to, in terms of just going forward, so we don't have, you know, there's accountability for if there is an incident, that we have a recourse to say, no, you're precluded going forward because of, you know, A, B, and C conduct.
I was sort of on the same line there, is fact, and I don't know this. But when outside people use the Hilton, we don't have set policy as to where they need to park. What entrance they need to come in. I think we need to spell that stuff out, because the last time we did this, we had people at 3 separate entrances. Our staff didn't really know what was going on. It was very confusing. People got very angry. And so I agree. We need to have some sort of a policy in place that says, spells it basically out, you know, you're to use that one entrance in and out at the Hilton. You know, parking is gonna be wherever it's gonna be, those kind of things. But my other concern is not a major concern, but I'm just wondering, we don't have anybody sign waivers or anything, is for liability purposes or anything. Has anyone ever, Chuck, have you ever seen anything like that at all, or?
No, but if someone got hurt on site, that'd be interesting where that would fall.
Yes, and.
Well, no pun intended.
Right. So I'm kind of interested. Like, I don't mind doing this. I really want to have some policy set in place, because.
Commissioner, a while ago, I asked Layla if there was a county-wide policy on having outside organizations use any of the county properties, but there is no such rules of engagement or policy or document that exists from what she understands. So I do think that there should be some sort of, because we have other groups that utilize these rooms as well. And so it would be nice to have some sort of policy or procedure just from my perspective, but also, you know, throughout the county as well.
And and to your point, Commissioner, a waiver of liability.
Right.
Jason, would it make sense for you to initiate a conversation with legal to start the process of having an attorney draft some, you know, using your sort of considerations for the residents to draft a, you know, policy coupled with waiver of liability that we'll utilize for groups coming in?
I can certainly work on that and
Are you-
bring that information back to you.
Commissioners, are you okay with that?
Well, Chuck wants to
Oh.
check.
I just had a thought that maybe to save on some legal costs, I could reach out to the HAC, to the administrators, to see if they or someone else at their counties, or they might have some sort of waiver
That's fine.
that they use.
Just, and then lastly, for me, I think, and I don't know if we've done this in the past, I don't know. We should think about, as part of the policy, a nominal fee to cover the cost of our employees doing cleanup. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but, you know, we do that in my town when we have elections. We have this, we pay the school employees a certain amount of money to clean up and everything. We should talk about that. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but to recover some of our costs here. And then I'm fine with that if we can accomplish that. So with permission from the commissioners, I'll let Jason Gorosky know that that we're gonna craft something. And the issues that we discussed, but you know, that he can use the facility as long as they agree to the waiver. Any other comments at all? Commissioner Godu?
Well, I'd like to make a motion to make this, to formalize it so that there's no question. And the motion I'd like to make is to allow the Rockingham County Republican Committee to use the Hilton Auditorium on May 20th, 8 to 12 for the purposes of internal training.
I'm
Commissioner-
gonna just, if I would second it, if it was amended to subject to any policies and waivers of liability.
That's fine. So amended.
Okay, great. So I have a motion and a
Wait.
second. Yeah,
Commissioner Allison's got her hand up.
go ahead, Allison.
Hey, I'm just wanted to let you know, we've had to do some liability waivers for some events that we've done, and we have used Mike Ricker from Primex because it is personal liability if somebody's coming on or having somebody come on site to any of the wellness events that we have, like family members. So to keep costs down, you may want to go revert back to Mike Ricker or Primex to see if they can help you with some sort of waiver, because I'm sure they've engaged in those before.
Fair enough.
Great. So I'm gonna second Commissioner Godu's amended motion.
So any further discussion at all? On the motion, Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
I will vote yes. Okay, so now we're done with everything public comment. I don't see anybody from the public, so, Allison, Chuck, do we have non-publics? We do have a non-public. Okay. Allison, do you have anything?
I do not, thankfully. Thank you very much.
We have the one. All right, everybody, so, we got out in pretty good time here. I'm happy to report that 40-minute meeting, pretty good. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.
Are we going non-public or not?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Christopher.
So I move to enter into non-public session pursuant to RSA 91A:3, 2D regarding property.
Second.
We made and seconded to go into non-public. All those in favor say aye.
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 So that's unanimous. Thank you. You need a minute? Layla, is it just you, Layla?
I'll
or-
take care of it.
It'll be you, right? Okay. Well, okay.
Do we want to invite Chuck for purposes of the,
We might want to.
You can stay.
for property, because regarding the lien?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, that's. the
And,
one.
just, you need to take 1 minute break before we start.
Um,
Okay.
I move to seal the minutes indefinitely because at this point, divulgence of the information could render a proposed action ineffective at this time.
Motion's been made. Do we have a
Second.
second? And seconded. On the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes,
I vote yes. Okay, so now we're back in non-public.
in public.
I'm sorry, we're back into public. Yes, thank you. And we're gonna talk about, Senior Executive Assistant Commissioner's Office, some of the work that Layla is doing. She's been, working way over her standard hours, even though she's salaried right now, but, there's a lot of stuff that's backing up, and, it's getting harder and harder for her to, keep that going. It's just going to be further in a hole if we don't talk about this, so, I'll let Commissioner Coyle, do you wanna hit the
Sure.
starting? Okay. go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think, I think we've seen is just because of a number of grants and and between ARPA, rental assistance, Primex claims that, we've seen a real influx of, demands on, that Layla's taken on. And I think, looking at our budget, the question for me was like, how can we pay for this? And what it looks like is, I think because of, in other ways, Layla's efficiencies and our use of money, that we have enough in our budget to cover some per diem hours through the end of the year. That we could cover probably, I think, and Layla, do you feel like 10 hours would be, I think when we look at 10 would, cover all those extra hours you're doing, plus, maybe we can get some, dig out of some of the hole. So I would recommend that we agree to a per diem for the rest of the year in the amount of 10 hours a week. And then we need to talk about, I guess the next question is, do we have concerns do you think that this is gonna dig you out and put you in a good place, or is this gonna be an ongoing issue for next year?
So on the handout that I gave you guys, I have taken my hours worked since I took this position. Everything that's highlighted in green is 48 hours or more at the end of the week. Everything in red is less than 40. Those are, of course, days or weeks that had either holidays or my vacation time, or I left early. So what I did was I took all of my full weeks and I put them off there on the right side. Those are my full weeks worked when there weren't holidays or vacation days, or I left early for whatever reason. You'll see that there was 1 week. And I was at 40 hours, and that was because I didn't work beyond the 40 hours because I had a family member in the hospital. So I went and visited him in the hospital after work. So my average, you'll see on page 2, my average hours of work during my full weeks is 49.65. That is my average. It's not, I don't see it getting any better. It's been a year and 8 months now, and I honestly don't see it getting better. There are, on the other document that I gave you guys, what I think is a complete list of my responsibilities. Although things, constantly evolve and other things come up. Honestly, Kate, the ARPA grants and stuff like that really doesn't take a whole lot of my time. It's everything else. But you'll see, and of course there are different seasons in my job, so it just depends on what season, but there's always something extra. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind working more than 40 hours, but it's been a year and 8 months now, and my average is close to 50 a week.
So, all right, so we got a couple of things going on here, because Commissioner Coyle mentioned a per diem for the remainder of the year. That's number one. It sounds like Layla is making a case for putting in a position into the budget, because the budget's coming up. So if you're gonna do that, you need to figure that part out if it's going that way. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
I'm not sure that I understand what is implied by a per diem. Are we paying Layla potentially additional money, or are we bringing in additional help?
Additional help.
Do you have somebody lined up?
No.
Just the thought of finding
It's-
somebody,
yes.
and, okay, I just wanted to understand that.
So.
And usually there's temp agencies that we can get the per diems through, like Robert Half or whatever.
Yeah, and so what's the number? So, I need to know what, if we were to entertain a per diem for the remainder of the year, what's that number gonna be? Because Commissioner Coyle, you said it's in the budget. Where in the budget? Because are you,
I believe we have a lot left over in our office supplies line.
okay, so I'm gonna try to understand it, just so I can get the math down. If we do the remainder of the year, how many weeks is that? Roughly, let's take a look.
12,
12 weeks,
by the time you,
okay. 12 weeks at how much?
10 hours a week is 120 hours. We're just,
120 hours at what fee? That's the next question.
And what is this person going to do specifically? I think that needs to be mapped out.
Okay.
I think Layla had some ideas, right? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, it's a lot of electronic filing that can be done, posting stuff to the website, stuff that I just can't seem to get to, electronic filing of the insurance, the certificates of liability that I get from all the vendors. I have a huge stack that just, I don't have time to get to. So it's a lot of electronic filing.
So okay, I guess I'm just not familiar with the electronic filing. What are the certificates of liability from our vendors and we have to do something with it?
It's for our records. So I have them, I have a lot of them in hard copy because they usually get mailed in. Some of them get emailed in, but so then I have to scan them and rename them and file them appropriately electronically. Mhm.
So I just did the simple math, $25 an hour, it's $3,000. Now, if we go to one of these temp agencies, they're gonna not charge us $25 an hour, right?
I don't know what the going rate is.
All right, so we need to look at the numbers because you know, I have no problem, what I would like to do, I guess, is I have no problem in looking at getting Layla some help till the end of the year. But I need the breakdown of a number so I can see where it's coming from. I need that. And then B, I need to get a better focus in on Layla's day of exactly how this all breaks down, so I get a better feel for it. I apologize, I don't know. Only to see if we can streamline it better some other way.
Okay.
You know, and if we can't, then I don't know. You know, maybe we
So-
do a.
In terms of the backlog, what I would say is, listen, we probably have, Layla, you probably have a better handle on this than I do. Do we have like an extra, do you think we'll have a surplus of 4,000 in our budget for the end of the year? 3,000, in that range?
I'm not sure if there's that much left.
Okay. But you would say what?
I would have to double check. I don't.
Okay.
So let's get the numbers and then we'll meet again next week and I don't think we're gonna make a decision today. Doesn't sound like it. But if we get the information that we're all looking for, maybe we can make a decision next week.
If you're buried at the moment, we need to unbury you. And if you can present us a specific plan, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what this person's gonna do. It's a big startup to have just like somebody else in the office, but it sounds like you got a certain amount of kind of busy work that doesn't
Yes.
take a lot of skills that
Right.
you could just tell somebody, scan this, call it this and put it, right?
Yes,
Which just takes a lot of time.
yeah.
So if you could just map out for us exactly what you want to get done and, it'd be great. We had a opportunity to go to the temp agency that says that we can supply you with somebody for this many hours for this much. That would be helpful to the decision.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
And maybe there's an opportunity for a summer intern, you know, someone coming in for the summer that, you know, either a high school student or someone who might want to, or, you know, college student who might want to work for, I mean, we can, you know, do an internship for the summer type thing, or, you know, with some hours, it pays a little bit of pay, and, you know, I'm happy to give they can work for Layla, learn some things about county government, and, you know, that's an additional opportunity just again for the next 3 months thereafter. But I agree. It's like if we can start digging out and maybe take what we have left, even if I mean, ideally you have 10, but to fit within our budget, even if we have to reduce that to 8, 8's better than 0. So.
Right, so we have a game plan for that, and we'll have further discussion, do you want to research? I know you're on vacation, I apologize for putting it on you, but that was your idea of intern, I wouldn't even know where to begin to ask, I don't know, maybe Commissioner Coyle, you know of anywhere?
I
this
don't, I mean,
sounds like a good idea, it's just, I don't know, I would not know where to begin on that, but.
I think we should get a sense of next week. I think to Commissioner Godu's point, like a itemized task list coupled with rates. We'll figure-
We also might want to consult with Allison
Mm.
to be sure that we're in compliance with all of our policies to bring in somebody part-time. I don't know what's involved. It sounds pretty simple, but
Yeah.
worth double checking.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Any other business we talked about? I don't think so. So I'll take a motion to adjourn. Well, we're
I
gonna
move-
bring up. Yeah, next.
I move to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.